The Charlie Kirk Show, where talk meets action.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Email us, as always, freedom@charliekirk.com, and subscribe to our podcast. Let's go to yrefy.com. That is yrefy.com. Private student loan debt in America totals about $300 billion. About $45 billion of that is labeled as distressed. YRefi refinances distressed and defaulted private student loans. If you go to yrefy.com, you can read testimonials from others who have been where you are. Go to yrefy.com. You don't have to ignore that mountain of student loan statements on your kitchen table anymore. Just call 888-YREFI34 or go to yrefy.com, yrefy.com. Bad credit is accepted. Do you have a co-borrower? YRefi can get them released from the loan. Private student loan debt in America totals over $300 billion. So go to yrefy.com. YRefi is not a debt settlement company, and they work with each borrower individually, tailoring each loan to each borrower's specific situation. YRefi can reduce your monthly payment and guarantees interest rates under 6%. Go to yrefy.com. That is yrefy.com. YRefi refinances distressed and defaulted private student loans. Go to yrefy.com. We need to open up mental institutions again, and we need to fill them up. There's plenty of candidates. Stay right there. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Email us, as always, freedom@charliekirk.com, and subscribe to our podcast. I was just watching this guy's video, and that is one of the darkest things I've had to watch in some time. That is very dark. For 11 minutes, he's going on, filming himself in his room, talking about the intent to kill the kids, talking about where is your God. I mean, it's as dark as it gets. It's really demonic, satanic, chilling. And you got to wonder, his family and friends all around him, of which he said he had family, what were they thinking through all this? That his family should have institutionalized him, and his teacher, anyone in his surrounding circle. You saw, and he wrote a note to his parents. His parents are out there. They're going to have, obviously, a tough road to hoe here, and you shouldn't be blamed for somebody else's sins. But he wrote a note to your parents. You were all that was keeping me going. So you have to wonder really what happened here. And anyway, so it's a lot of speculation, but anyway, Alex Marlow continues with Alex. I want to get your thoughts. Let's move beyond this Minnesota story.
Can I say one more thing, Charlie, though, before we move on?
Yes.
A couple of things. I do want to hear from the parents, and I admire your position. I think it's very moral, but I want to hear from them. How do you lose track of this? I've seen the 11-minute video also, which people should not hunt down, in my opinion, but if you must. Because I want to see how this person lost track of this. This was so clearly premeditated for such a long time. And did no one have any interaction with this individual and be able to see any red flags and be able to stop it? And I want to know why not. And I think that's a question that these families that will never be the same, will never be whole again after today. The trauma that this person caused this community that they'll never fully heal from. I think they're entitled to that answer. Who are the people around this guy who missed everything? But I want to make one other point, that there's a stark contrast here with the shooting of a mass at a Catholic church, a Christian church, is that this person is clearly extremely online. All of these slogans that are written on these.
That's such a good point.
All of these slogans on these weapons, it's every dark, weird meme you've ever seen in the deep recesses of the internet, to the point where I don't think he missed one of them. I think they're all there. And I think that a lot of Americans have replaced God with the smartphone and with the apps. And I think that is a dark thing that we've been kind of talking around for a long time, Charlie. Maybe it's time to start talking about it literally in those terms, that we've taken God out of our lives. At the same time, we've gotten this blatant addiction to these phones and these devices. And it's hard not to draw that contrast when you stare at these images long enough.
It ruins your day. You watch these videos, and again, I don't want the parents to be indicted for the sins of a son. However, if the parents obviously knew he had firearms, and he had these. I mean, you look at this video, he is just displaying all of his weapons on a bed with tons of ammunition. You got to wonder, what are they doing here? Like, oh yeah, little Johnny over there, it's fine. This guy's completely deranged, totally insane. President Donald Trump has said the following, quote, I have been fully briefed on the tragic shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The FBI quickly responded, and they are on the scene. The White House will continue to monitor this terrible situation. Alex, we know what's next. They're going to do a push for gun control. Yeah. I think that's going to fall on deaf ears, given that we all know this is not a gun issue. This is a insane asylum issue. But 2 minutes remaining. Alex Marlow, author of Breaking the Law. What can we anticipate as their next move?
Yeah, hopefully at this point in time where the conservative voices are controlling the culture more, we can talk more about the hate crimes against Christians. We could talk about some of this extremely online culture. I saw one of the images. Apparently, he had a booklet with a lot of Luigi stickers on it. You guys can do the math on that. With the media encouraged. Obviously, there was going to be more murders after the way the media reacted to the Luigi Mangione assassinating of a healthcare CEO. So maybe we can actually have some productive conversations this time, but the media will try their best to just make it about firearms. And I feel like most Americans roll their eyes at that, thank God.
So somebody on social media has said, quote, I know this is developing, but if it's true that he was trans, which it looks as if this individual very well might be, just like the Nashville shooter, which also targeted a Christian school, just so we are clear, that there's a take that the Trump NIH could take measures to coerce the APA, the American Pediatric Association, to classifying transgenderism as a mental disorder, again, in the DSM, and the Department of Justice then could use 4473 NICS to deny firearm sales to them, basically saying that if you have gender dysphoria, you should not be able to own firearms. I tend to agree with that. I think that you are so mentally disturbed that if you're schizophrenic, you shouldn't be able to own firearms. Final thoughts, Alex Marlow. I know this was an unusual day. Thanks for
very unusual. Thank you for including me in the breaking news segments. I know these are very strenuous but essential segments for radio, podcasts, et cetera. I think your takes are right. I think if Charlie, it'd be nice if you could guide some of these discussions because I feel like those are very productive. But I don't think that people who have gender dysphoria should have firearms. I think that's fine. I think we can work that out in the courts. That's for lawyers to decide. People can hear arguments, but that's a gut. That's not like a hardcore position I've thought about for a long time. But it doesn't add up to me.
Doesn't add up. We need insane asylums, and we need gender dysphoric individuals not to be able to own guns. Alex, thank you so much. We'll be right back.